Hey friends, welcome. For this reading, I feel called to do a combination. So I've pulled some goddess cards and then I've pulled also some animal cards. So a little combination. First, you gotta pick a pile. So pile number one is this sea coral right here. Okay, pile number two is the yellow citrine, or pile number three, the rose quartz. So go with your first instinct, whichever one is calling to you, 1, 2, or 3, the coral, the citrine, or the rose quartz. So pile number one. Okay, so the first goddess card, pile number one, Guinevere, true love. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love for you. So yes, this could mean love, romantic relationships, something new, something being rekindled in your current relationship. But also romance is just like the vibe, right? It's luxury, it's indulgence, it's setting a mood, whether that's with flowers or music or beautiful colors or cozy clothes or stuff that makes you feel sexy. So whatever it is, tap into that energy of romance. And then for a little color commentary, this animal card, the blue damselfly, commune with nature. So that might be tapping into romance specifically by getting out in nature, noticing what's beautiful outside. Are there flowers blooming? Is there the romance of like snow sprinkling all around you? Can you get out and just like really be immersed in what Mother Nature has to offer and really notice? Like, part of romance is the sensory pleasures, right? Notice the sounds you hear, the wind rustling the leaves in the trees, birds chirping, animals making sounds, right? What do you see? What do you smell? And really like tap into those sensory pleasures. Okay. Pile number two, this is with the citrine. White Terra, sensitivity. So you're becoming increasingly sensitive to your environment, to your intake. So be mindful of what you're taking in, right? Are you assaulting your senses with really like loud sounds, toxic foods, toxic relationships, conversations, whatever? You may notice that you're starting to outgrow some of it or become less tolerant to it. And this might include just be like other people's bullshit too. You're just like, no, maybe you've been handling some stuff for a long time, but now you're becoming sensitive to it. And so to really honor what your body, what your sensations are telling you, if it feels intolerable, if it feels toxic, if it feels like it's not for you anymore, let it go. Okay. And for some additional clarity, okay, the zigzag spider. And with spiders, everything is connected. So check out like what that spider web looks like, right? All of the pieces are connected somehow, even if it feels like they're not. Like, how could what I'm eating for breakfast possibly be related to my relationship, right? But toxicity in one area sort of like bleeds into another area. So if you're surrounded by relationships that you've sort of outgrown, you might be starting to feel this in your physical body, right? The toxicity in your relationships sort of seeping into your actual physiology. Maybe the patterns of your thoughts, right? If it's stuff that you are over, that you've outgrown, or if this sort of like repetitive loop on and on and on of self-judgment or self-sabotage, right? If it's this place that you feel stuck and stagnant in and it feels really uncomfortable, that's leaking out into other places. So the opposite can be true too, right? So if we're being more mindful of our intake and what feels toxic, too much, outgrown, is leaking into other places, the same can be true. So if we start to cultivate purity, if you start to cultivate a sense of really honoring whatever it is that your body, your emotions, your mental, your spiritual field are wanting, when you honor that in one way, it will also seep out into other areas, right? If you hone into what your intuition is guiding you to eat for breakfast and you actually listen to that instead of telling yourself what you should do, what you shouldn't do, right? When you tap into your intuition in one area, this is going to lead to intuitive knowing and alignment in other areas as well. Even if it seems like they're not connected, they are, right? All parts of the web. Okay, pile number 3. If you chose the rose quartz, your goddess card is vast, independent. And not just this sense of independence, but that your independence is the foundation of your strength, of your success, of everything that is holding you up. So check this out. See on the card how Bast has these cats here. If you're a cat person, you already know this. If you're not a cat person, maybe this is one of the reasons you don't even like cats. Cats are just all about whatever they want in the moment. They're super independent. They want to do their own things. They want to lounge in the sunlight. They want to lick their fur to get their body all clean. And then when they're interested in a little connection, they might come over to you and nuzzle and do the little, like, you know, paw thing and all this kind of stuff. And then when they're done, they're done. They walk away. They don't feel bad about it. Okay, so this is the same type of energy. Do what you want to do. Do whatever moves you in the moment, whether that's something that feels good, whether it's something that feels necessary. This might be what you eat, what you do for work, the way that you engage in your relationships with other people, the conversations you're having, the, you know, social life, right? If you get an invitation to a party, don't just say yes out of obligation, right? Does it feel like a full body yes, or does it feel like, ugh, I'm not really in the mood for this anymore? Okay. And feel free to honor that completely without apology and without explanation. You don't have to tell anybody why you do or you don't want something. Just do it. Okay. And for more commentary and clarity on that, the sea turtle card, find your element. So the sea turtle is born on land, but then spends pretty much its whole life in the water and rarely comes back to the land. Only ever once in a while to lay some eggs if it's a female. But otherwise, the sea turtle is swimming in the water, right? It's once it's born, it's done with land, and that's that. It's enjoying swimming, gliding, soaking up the sun in the ocean. Same thing here. So you might be in a place, in a job, in a relationship, in a family context, right, that you've been in for a long time, something that feels habitual, right? Maybe it's a way that you show up. Maybe it's a pattern of thought or behavior, something that has been familiar for a long time, or something that has been the way that you, maybe not always, but that you've been so long it feels like always. And it doesn't really feel like a good fit anymore. Sea turtle is telling you to go out and find what is your element, right? If life on land is not for you, get out into the ocean. If being in the place where you live is not for you, go out and see what a new environment does. If being in the job that you're in is clearly not for you, if it's wildly uncomfortable, go find something else. If you find yourself in friendships, romantic relationships, having the types of conversations, or just in a pattern of the way that you talk to yourself or the way that you act that feels like it's actually not your element, go out and find what is. Okay, awesome. So if that was helpful, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know, and share this video too.